Now that you're comfortable with the exercises in our book, I want you to know that in Blackboard, at the bottom, I have a couple of things that are extra practices. So if you click on this one, that's extra pen practice, it should download an Illustrator file. Oh boy. There we go. It's from a previous book, so you see L5 Start 5. And then also if you download what's called practice files right here, there is a start file you can download. And if you back up one step, there is the end view. So once these get downloading here, I want to show you L5 Start. And this could be really good practice before you move on to your major project, which is project number 2. You have to be good at the pen tool for project number 2, so you're going to need to practice. So use these options that I've given you. This one is from a previous year where we used the pen tool. And learning, these were all the practice steps that we did, but we learned how to use the pen tool. So if you want to practice with this, again, you're going to start at point A. Usually you drag out to point B, but if they ever want you to break off the handle and Option or Alt click and drag it over here, they'll give you the yellow dot to show you that. So you need to change this into going another direction. We don't want this curve to head off to the left. We want it to come back up and this way. So all these dots are here. It can be a little confusing, but maybe don't even think about them. Maybe ask yourself, how am I going to turn this curve from going this way and get it to go the opposite direction? Oh yeah, I have to break off this directional handle that wants to go up and to the left, and I have to tell it to come over here. I have to tell it to go this direction. So you can practice on this violin very easily. And then another practice that I gave you the end file so you can see what it looks like. And it has a few different pieces. There's stuff in here that we did last week with the pencil tool and other things. So don't worry, this is the finished product. But if you want to just practice your pen tool, we'll go to the start file. And here are some awesome practices. A and B and C were done with the pencil tool that used to be in the same chapter in the past, so don't worry about those. This over here is how they made the spoon, and using the curvature tool that we learned last week, they made this, and then they used the concept we've learned earlier where we copy it and we use one of our tools over here to do a reflecting. But instead of just reflecting this one piece, we make a copy of it to reflect. So that made a closed spoon, and then we join the two paths. Again, if you want to go back and practice those concepts, go ahead. Otherwise, Artboard 1 over here is a good pen tool practice. Again, using curved lines, straight lines, breaking off directional handles, and repositioning them. So 2 good practice items for you. After you're comfortable with that, I'm going to give you your first piece of homework that is actually going to be due by the start of class next week. And it's simple. I'm going to have you find a dot to dot and do it yourself. But specifically, I need you to make a template layer, and that's something that we haven't covered yet. So I'm going to create a new video on that process.